What's up, everybody? Well, it's our last day here in North Dakota, and believe it or not, we're headed to Michigan to do another beet harvest. Can you believe that? Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. You guys hang in there with us and we'll let you know. But we're leaving this morning, got everything packed up in the motorhome and got it clean, which I never thought would happen. It was a mess.
Yeah, it was a mess.
You're working 12 hours a day, 12 days straight, it becomes a mess.
Yeah, it does. We got it though. We got this.
Yeah, maybe 5-gallon bucket full of dirt out of the motorhome. Yeah, not that much, but it sure seemed like it, huh?
It's clean now.
Man, this is some wicked dirt here. Wouldn't you say?
Oh, yeah.
You know, it seems like they could just add one more part and they would have instant concrete. But anyway, that's another story in itself. Day's travel day. Check you later. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the Wandering Aces. We are in Michigan and we're going to try this beet harvest. We finished the one in Drayton, North Dakota. We're here in Michigan. And here's Brenda. She's on her way out the door.
Hey, everybody.
Getting ready for our second work camping job, doing the same thing.
Sugar beets.
But the equipment is different.
And we're working nights.
And we're working nights. So
well, part day, part night.
Pretty much nights.
6 to 6.
Yep. We'll try to shoot some new video of the new equipment if they allow us to do so. But it is different than what we experienced in Drayton. All right, guys, stay tuned. We'll see what's going to happen next. We'll check you later. Hey, what's up, everybody? This background is not our motorhome.
Hi.
We're not there anymore.
We are at home.
We're at home. For the first time in my life, I actually quit a job, and it was the Michigan sugar beets. And we both were in agreement. So we put the key in the switch and cruck up our home, and down the road we went.
Yeah.
And we're fixing to tell you why. I'm trying to keep it short and simple. We get hired. We work the sugar beets in Drayton, North Dakota. Fantastic people, great people to work with. Had a wonderful time. Well, Express asked us would we be interested in going to another harvest in Michigan, and we agreed to do it.
We were really optimistic about going. I was really happy about it.
Oh yeah, we was excited about going. Well, we get there and they tell us we have to have a COVID test before we could even go to work. I thought it was going to be one of those rapid tests that would let you know if you had COVID, but it wasn't. It was a 7-day test. They swabbed our nose and all this good stuff, but we had to have the test before we went to work. We wouldn't find out the results till 7 days later, but we had to report to work the next day. That makes no sense to me.
Nor me.
But we're not going to go there. So, the first day of work, we meet at the time shack like we were told to. We didn't know who to talk to. There was a gentleman there that looked like he was a supervisor. And we were told to go see this gentleman, which I assumed was my boss. Come to find out, he wasn't my boss. He just kind of got us started, told us to go over to this machine and go to work. Told Brenda, go over to this machine and go to work. So we did. I walk over to the machine and introduce myself and say, hey guys, what you want me to do? You know, I'm here. And they just totally ignored me. Totally ignored me. Well, this was not my first rodeo, so I just jumped in and started working. Then we got moved 3 or 4 times. No safety meeting, no introduction to our supervisor. Got thrown around on 3 or 4 machines, which makes no difference to me. No introduction to the supervisor, no any kind of safety meetings at all. 10 hours later, I had no break. Nobody came up and give me a break. And we had some safety concerns. We saw truck drivers get out of the truck and go to the end dump to release their gate, which they're not allowed to do. They must do that prior to going into the end dump of the piler. So we said something about that, and we were blatantly told that the farmers own the sugar company, Michigan Sugar, and they could do pretty much what they wanted to. Okay. Just in the other yard where we worked at in Drayton, that was a no-no. Then they asked me to shovel beets into the back of the end dump while the machine was running, which we were not allowed to do in Drayton. We had to pick up the beets, of course, in Drayton and throw them into the end dump, but not while the machine was running. Before we could go do any kind of work around the machine, they would turn the power off. Everybody had a lock. They would do a lock and tag out system on the machine, and we would all jump in and start cleaning. They had no kind of safety programs like that. And the guy that told me was a supervisor. He just wasn't my supervisor. He was, because I asked. He said, no. I said, okay. I said, I'm still trying to figure out who I'm supposed to work for. I've been here 8 hours at that time already. Hadn't had a break. So we basically finished out the day. And the people that were driving the front end loaders, they didn't use skid steers. They used front end loaders, which is big loaders. Too big to be doing the job around all the people there. Skid steers are small. That's what they used in Drayton, which was the perfect fit. To make a long story short, I'm trying to keep it as short as I can, guys. We quit. And the reasons that I quit was 3 reasons. Never knew who my supervisor was, the lack of safety, and no break. They didn't care about me. They didn't care whether I was there, whether I wasn't there. The people that actually worked for the sugar company were very, very rude. Now, the work camping people that were there, well, they're like us. They were fine.
They were very nice.
Very nice, friendly. They didn't know what the heck was going on either. So, I meet up with Brenda. I said, Brenda, what do you think about this? You got the floor.
Well, what I thought about it was I didn't have any intentions of going back. But I wasn't going to say anything. I was going to wait and see how everybody else felt. When I got there, the girl that was there had been there for 12 hours and she was fixing to go home. Well, she told me everything she knew to tell me, but they had me run a boom, which I had never run a boom. So they just kind of threw me at it. Probably 45 minutes later, they bring another girl over to the piler and told me to train her. The blind leading the blind.
Yeah.
So I told him, I said, I'll do my best. I'll do what I can do.
She never got a break either.
No.
She doesn't know who she's working for.
Mm-mm.
10 hours later, doesn't know this.
Get moved to another, well, they cut the machine off on us. And, we did do the lockout. But, in Drayton, we did the lockout and the belt still would run. We did not check it there. I just thought about that. Because we had to check it in Drayton once they found out it didn't work.
We never did a lockout. Never.
We did a lockout. But we had to clean that machine to move to another machine. But I got talking to the girl before she left. And I asked her, when did we take our breaks? And she said she had one break in 3 days.
3 days.
And she said she needed to go to the restroom. And she told them that she was actually going. And she said, I got 15 minutes that day. She said, but other than that, I haven't had a break.
These are 12-hour shifts, folks. Now, what we did in Drayton, which we were told by our supervisor, we all got together. We took our breaks. We relieved each other. It was easy. It was simple. It was very simple. Very good program. There, no communication at all.
No.
None whatsoever. And the lack of safety was terrible.
It was very bad.
And this is that we found this out the very next morning. The very next morning. We'd made up our mind we wasn't going back. It wasn't working for people like that. You're going to work me for 10 hours and not tell me who my supervisor is? Not go over any kind. Listen, I'm not big on safety. I'm really not. I believe in common sense safety. But when you're working around a lot of heavy equipment like that and a lot of people with boots on the ground, you got to have some kind of precautions. Yeah, number one, you watch out for yourself. That's common sense rule. But their system around the machine, they never told anybody there. And these guys were coming into the end dump, getting out of their truck, and they wasn't supposed to do that. You didn't do that in Drayton. You just did not do that. They would tell you in a skinny minute to get back in that truck. Prior to coming into the end dump, you could release your gate, do whatever you needed to do. Once you crossed over into that end dump, you stayed in your truck. And we, as workers on the ground, we basically stayed away from there until the machine was shut down. Then we would clean up around the end dump. The very next day, we get told that a man got killed in the end dump.
It was very sad.
That same night. Not in our yard. It was in another location, but still working for Michigan Sugars. Mm-hmm. And that just really sealed the deal for me. I'm not going to work in a dangerous situation, nor am I going to put my wife in that kind of a situation.
Well, I did a little research, and in the past years, there's been several accidents, fatal accidents, where people's got killed there.
They have no regard to safety. They have no regard for the people that's working there. If they did, I would know who my supervisor was. I would know the breaks that we were supposed to be given and taken. I mean, they throw you out there for 12 hours and say you're on your own. Mm-hmm. That's the way it was. And I still do not know to this day who I'm supposed to answer to. I have no idea.
Nobody even knew we left.
They never knew we left. And
it was our time to go home, but they didn't know that we left. They didn't know anything. The
couple we were traveling with, you guys know them, Johnny and Tracy, for our RV SWAT. Good people, and we love you guys. Miss you guys already. I told Johnny, I said, I'm not hanging around here for this. I'm just not going to do it. Matter of fact, they left me and Johnny on a whole entire piler by ourselves to run it for a couple of hours. I could not believe that they would even do that. Yeah, we're experienced, but not on that equipment. I didn't even know how to back the machine up. I thought Johnny could back it up. He couldn't back it up. He was a piler operator. We could talk about all these steps and just make this video 2 hours long, which I do not want to do. No. Want to make it short and sweet and simple. We quit. No regrets. I hope no one at Express. I emailed the people at Express and told them my concerns and that we just didn't feel safe working there and we were leaving. And the next night, Johnny and Tracy left. They seen all the safety concerns too. And a lot of other work campers there.
Everybody I talked to wasn't happy with
the work campers were not. And most of them had come from Drayton, North Dakota.
And Crookston.
Oh, they were all ready to go to work. And even one of the guys, I'm not going to mention his name or put him on the spot, but he was a work camper and he became a supervisor. And he walked around with his hands in his pockets. He had no idea. I said, "Are you my boss?" He said, "No." I said, "Okay." I said, "Any way I can find out who I work for?" You know, you just don't do that whenever you're running a company like that. You know, you just don't. You do not do that. And like I say, I'm not a safety nut, but whenever I can look and see all the safety concerns and people just disregard safety, period, no. Even the tracks on the piler, they're bulldozer tracks. There were no guards around them. This thing will run over your foot. Whoever's backing up the piler, if you didn't go around and tell everybody, which they did not do, they just started backing it up on its own, not letting anybody, giving anybody any warning, any whatsoever.
Well, I had trucks coming at me, and then what were those things called behind me?
The front end loaders?
The front end, yeah, they had two front end loaders laying pipe behind me, and they kept backing up. I was trying to watch the truck to keep it from hitting me. Then I had to watch these guys back here because they wasn't really paying attention. They were more into laying these pipes with those machines.
I was with Brenda 20 minutes, and I probably pulled her away from harm's way 3 times. Just because the big heavy equipment just backing up, you know, just no regards to safety. And I've never worked in that kind of environment. I've owned a business most of my life, and we made safety a big concern in the business that we were in. And there was things that I wouldn't allow because of safety. I mean, you don't want anybody getting hurt or getting killed. And, you know, I just felt uneasy about the whole experience there. Now, the experience, I would tell all the work campers that are out there that are watching this, if the very first time that you've worked sugar beets was in Michigan, don't give up, because all places are not like that.
No.
I will tell you right now, Drayton, North Dakota,
Very safety conscious.
East Grand Fork, they're not like that.
Drayton's not like that.
You need to go try it. You need to go try it. But if Michigan is your first time and you swear you would never do it, I understand. Because if that had been my first experience at a beet harvest, I would never, ever do it again.
No, I wouldn't either. But we
are going back to Drayton, North Dakota. Can't wait.
We had a good experience the first time.
Very, very good experience.
We know what it's supposed to be, and it was not Michigan.
No. And you know, when we woke up the next morning and they had told us that a guy got killed in the end dump. I mean, I guess he was releasing his gate and the beets fell in on him.
Didn't shock me.
I'm not sure, but he got drug into the machine. He got drug into the machine. And you people out there that has worked the sugary beets before, you know what I'm talking about. And I guess the pilot operator saw the gentleman in the machine and cut it off, but it was way too late. It had already got him. And like I say, once I heard that, I'm like, there's absolutely no way, because nobody there had a regard for safety, none whatsoever. And you could see it. You could blatantly see all the safety violations, in my opinion. Common sense stuff, like backing up that power.
Anybody went out there from OSHA? Oh, it'd be shut down.
Yeah, because they didn't have guards around the tracks. No, you could easily back that thing up on somebody's foot, and let me tell you, you would lose your foot. Mm-hmm. And whenever I saw the guy back it up, the first time I seen him back it up, he never warned a soul he was backing it up. And it was so easy if you could see it. I wish I could have took pictures of it, of the guards not being on those tracks. He could run over you, especially the person on the other side. If he didn't go over there and warn them that he was backing it up, I mean, they could have got hurt really bad. Mm-hmm. I just didn't want to be around that environment. Nobody had any kind of conscience about safety in their surroundings. And I knew somebody was going to get hurt, but I had no idea it was going to be that quick and that fast. And the gentleman actually lost his life there. So, like I say, that sealed the deal for us guys. And one thing about work camping, if you don't like it, you can put the key in the switch, you can hit the trail. Now, I will tell you this, I really felt bad because I've never ever quit a job in my entire life. Never. I've got a straight record. From the time I was 12 years old up until right now, I have never quit a job. This one I walked away from.
If watching this video saves one of you guys' lives, it's all worth it.
Yep. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Sorry it's so long. Please ask us questions. We'll be glad to answer anything that we haven't went over. And you can search the death of this gentleman in Michigan of getting killed. And it was really sad. Really sad that someone had to lose their life. Mm-hmm. All right, guys. Sorry to end this video on a sour note, but you guys have a great day. And we will check you later. Please like, share, and subscribe. Really hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you got something out of it. Thanks. We'll see you later.